What's up, nerds? Welcome to DNA Reacts. Cameron, Joey. We're going to talk about some trailers that came out this week. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We've got Star Trek Beyond. We've got X-Men Apocalypse and Independence Day Resurgence. We're going to start out talking about Star Trek and Ninja Turtles. What did you guys think of the Ninja Turtles trailer, first off? I want to get this out of the way because it's the one I'm most excited for, but it's besides the point.
Joey?
I mean, I think it looks good. I guess I haven't seen the last, Ninja Turtles movie, so I don't really have a whole lot to say on it. I mean, it looks like it'll be a fun movie to see, and it's definitely going to be interesting, but we'll have to see how it goes, because, whenever Megan Fox is in something, it kind of tends to be how much are they going to focus on trying to over-sexualize her and then add a bunch of action, it seems, so...
They didn't really do that in the last movie.
Okay, well, I wouldn't know because I
jumping on a
haven't seen
trampoline,
it, but
that was one scene. Okay.
So I mean, I'll have to watch the first one and then keep my eye out for this one. But as for now, I don't really have a whole lot to say on it.
Cameron.
I don't know. I think it looks like it's going to be better than the first one because the first one was pretty bad. The only thing that was good about the first one was just the turtles. That's it. Everything else about the movie was pretty dumb. Spoiler alert, the ending of the movie is basically The Amazing Spider-Man again. So the whole movie just felt generic and nothing original. The only thing that was original was the way the turtles looked and the way that they interacted with each other, which is the only good thing about it. And I think the biggest reason why the first movie was so bad was because it went through rewrites and reshoots right before they were even done shooting the movie, so the whole thing felt kind of like a mess and nothing felt consistent and legitimate. This time around, they've had time to write everything and get everything out and fix things, so I think it'll be better. It'll probably be like an entertaining movie, but it's not. I still don't think it's going to be like the Turtles movie I've been wanting to see for years, but I still think it'll probably just be
Fun,
subpar, entertaining, but not.
Will it be better than Transformers?
It's not hard to do.
It'll probably be like a hair better than all of them.
Okay, so Transformers 1 was like the only good movie out of the four of them. I'm saying out of the four of them.
There was 4 of them? I remember 3.
You didn't see the one with Mark Wahlberg in it?
Ugh.
No.
Oh my gosh, don't put yourself through that. That's a different show, but my fiance and I watched that, and we were like, why are we putting ourselves through this? This is the worst movie we've ever seen.
The most product placement I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But back to Turtles, like, I went in thinking, like, everybody's bashing this movie because it's a Michael Bay produced film. Everybody's expecting him to do with Turtles what he did with Transformers, and that was ruin most people's childhood. And I was like, well... Like, I was a little late to Transformers, but Ninja Turtles was, like, my thing. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, this is going to be awful. Because I love the original movie. That's, like, top 5 favorite movies of all time is that original Ninja Turtles movie. And that's the movie I wanted this to be. And I have to say, I was surprised at how much better it was than I expected. It's probably my 3rd favorite of the Turtles movies that are out right now. Turtles 1 and 2 obviously being better, and Turtles in Time being last because that was garbage, and then the animated one was okay. But this movie seems to be like it's pulling the heartstrings of my childhood because they've got Bebop and Rocksteady in the movie. They're bringing...
Which they look great.
Yeah, they look amazing. They bringing in Casey Jones, which I really like Stephen Amell as Arrow. Like, say what you want about Arrow right now. It's kind of like it has its good days and its bad episodes, but like I like him as Arrow, and I think he's going to do. I mean, it's almost the same character. So
I know it's a small thing, but I think Stephen Amell is great. But I wish he actually looked like Casey Jones. That's the only issue I have with it.
Yeah.
Where's the long hair and where's like the accent and stuff, but it's like whatever, it's a small thing.
Yeah, I agree with you to an extent, but I think this movie is trying to appeal to like what's popular right now, and like Stephen Amell and Arrow is really big right now, so like I think getting him is good for Nickelodeon because they're the owners of this movie, but that said, I'm glad Shredder's not a robot in this movie. I think Bebop and Rocksteady look great. I think the Turtles look great. And Megan Fox is Megan Fox, but I'm out of the 4 trailers we're talking about, this might be the one I'm most excited for. Maybe X-Men could top it, but we're gonna. Do you guys want to talk about Star Trek at all? I didn't see the last movie. I mean, the reboot was fun and I enjoyed it. I didn't get around to seeing Into Darkness, but
it looks good. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, so the only thing I do know was the reboot movie and then Into Darkness, and both of those were good. So I am looking forward to this one, but I don't have too much insight about what's going on in the trailer, so
yeah.
I'll look forward to seeing it and I'll have a reaction then. But as of now, it's just something I don't know a whole lot about.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan either. I'm not a Star Trek fan at all. Actually, I saw the reboot movie and it was good. I enjoyed it, and I will get to Into Darkness if it's on Netflix. I think you told me it was on Netflix, so I'll probably watch it. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. But Simon Pegg's writing this movie, I think. So I think it could go a different direction than the last couple, and I'm expecting a lot of action because it's being directed by the Fast and the Furious director. So yeah. I don't know. I think this movie to me is the same way you guys feel about Turtles. It's maybe fun if you just kind of turn your brain off and watch it.
Well, my association with Star Trek is the first of it I ever saw was the Patrick Stewart, The Next Generation. That's the only thing I ever saw prior to the rebooted movies. I knew about the 60s versions, and I knew, William Shatner's exaggerated speaking in the show. That's the only thing I really knew about it. But when it came to this new one, I already knew who J.J. Abrams was because Heroes had come out, and it was pretty popular, and I liked the first couple episodes after that, and I kind of checked out. But I was really excited for the movie, and I absolutely love the first and second one, Into Darkness, and the first Star Trek movie, and I thought they were really good, Oscar-worthy movies. So when it comes to Beyond, honestly, I don't know what to expect. It looks really cool and really action-packed or whatever, but in the first two, you kind of dealt with the kind of Star Trek alien races and Star Trek villains and stuff that were in the old show and that were kind of common knowledge. But going into this third one, seeing all the stuff in the trailer, nothing looks recognizable to me, so I really don't know what to expect. And also with JJ not being the director, I'm not going to say worried, I'm just going to say I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, though.
Yeah. I really did like the reboot movie, though, so when I get around to seeing Into Darkness, I probably will go see it, especially now that, this is what we're doing. Like, we're going to react to stuff, and I want to do a react on big movies that come out next year and beyond, but Star Trek Beyond, see what I did there?
Yeah, I got it.
Ha! Ha!
Oh.
But anyways, it looks good, but movie I'm way more excited for is X-Men Apocalypse. I like X-Men. It was one of the only comics that I read when I was little outside of Ninja Turtles. I'm really interested to see how they do Apocalypse. I like the trailer looks really good, but I just keep seeing like that meme of Apocalypse and then Ivan Ooze underneath him, and it just said, "Is this the same character?" Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie. So like, I have that in the back of my head, and I'm worried that I hope this isn't like Last Stand, where it's like not a great movie compared to the other ones, So I don't know. What do you guys think of X-Men Apocalypse?
Well, when it comes to the X-Men movies, I really only like 3 of them. There's like 7?
I think there's 7 now. There's the original trilogy, the 2 Wolverine movies, and then the 2 newest movies, First Class and Apocalypse.
Yeah. The original trilogy, I think the first X-Men is fine. I think it paved the way for a lot of really good movies to come out after it. X2 was way too Wolverine focused, so I wasn't a fan of that at all. X-Men 3 was just all over the place. And very comically incorrect and really bugged me. And X-Men Origins Wolverine is god-awful. It's garbage. Absolute garbage. But then, after all those movies happened, then First Class came out, and I had 100% faith in X-Men again, because I thought First Class was amazing.
Yeah, First Class was amazing.
And it's still my favorite X-Men movie. Say what you will about Days of Future Past. Yes, it was fantastic and great, but I still like First Class better. I think it had better dialogue and better acting, just a tiny bit better acting in First Class. And Days of Future Past was great, very, very good. And say what you will about the Wolverine, but I really liked the Wolverine. Yeah, maybe the end was a little too like comic book-y, I guess, and Viper's involvement was pretty dumb, but I really liked the movie and I thought it was very solid. So when it comes to X-Men Apocalypse, since this almost looks like it really is kind of like the reboot going into a new generation of X-Men, I'm really curious how things are going to happen. And all the other X-Men movies, there hasn't really been, except for the first one, there hasn't really been like a definitive villain that they're going after. It almost ended up being like a split movies all the time, where it's like they're going after Stryker, but then also humans are revolting up against mutant. It becomes like a race thing. So going into X-Men Apocalypse has me really curious, because Apocalypse is one of those villains where it's like, he's like one of the most powerful people ever.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in this movie? Because in the first X-Men, it's like, oh, all the X-Men will band together and take down Magneto, because if we all work together, we can take him down. Apocalypse isn't really like that. How are you going to do this? It's like, yeah, we can all band together and fight against him, but we're probably all actually going to die this time. So I really don't know what they're going to do this time, and I'm really wondering what they're going to go with and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I know they said that Wolverine was going to be in it, but we didn't see him in the trailer, so I don't know what's his involvement going to be either.
Yeah, and I'm really curious on how they're going to do the Four Horsemen thing, who the Four Horsemen are. Like, I think, judging by the trailer, I think, Magneto was one of them. I think Storm is one of them from
Yeah, it was once again X-Men continuity going out the window, but whatever.
Yeah. And, like, in some issues of the comic, Wolverine is a horseman, so, like, if he's not super involved in this movie, who's going to take Wolverine's place? It's like, it looks, don't get me wrong, I have total faith that based on First Class and Days of Future Past, that this movie's going to be great. I'm just concerned about continuity issues and how everything from Days of Future Past is going to affect this movie and then the future of X-Men. It's just, I don't know. This is going to be the tipping point where, like, I think what, the Marvel proper movies are doing, where, like, each one keeps, like, surprising me more and more that it's still a decent movie. And, like, X-Men is hitting that point for me where, like, these movies have been increasingly good since First Class. First Class was great. I loved the Wolverine until, like, the end, like you said. And then I really loved Days of Future Past. I just hope they're not at their tipping point already, because they've already said that, Deadpool's coming out next year, and they want to expand more X-Men movies. The next Wolverine movie is coming out. Like,
Gambit.
Yeah, and the Gambit movie. So, like, I'm just concerned with the future of X-Men, and I hope that they don't try to tie all that crap into this movie too. So I don't know. It concerns me, but. Any final thoughts, Joey, on that before we move into the biggest surprise this week?
It looks action-packed. I don't know. Like I haven't seen the Wolverine movie. I haven't seen the Days of Future Past, so I've been real slacking on the X-Men movies. So I, again, don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. But I mean, it'll be something I'll end up seeing eventually. I know that.
Yeah. All right. Well, the biggest surprise dropped this week, was Independence Day Resurgence. The sequel, 20 years in the making, apparently, because Independence Day was great, but did it really need a sequel? First of all, does Independence Day need a sequel?
No.
No, it doesn't need one.
Absolutely not.
Second of all, way to explain Will Smith's character's fate in a press release. Did you guys see that?
No.
Oh, during the technological era where they were combining the alien technology with our technology, they built a ship and he was a pilot for these ships. Spoilers if you don't want to know. Pause it.
Did he pick up the thing and turn it around again so he could...
No, he crashed one of the ships and he died.
Oh.
So, he's dead. Will Smith's character is dead.
Lazy.
So, but that said, Jeff Goldblum is in this movie. Liam Hemsworth's in this movie. They've got most of the cast back from the original movie. Vivica A. Fox and Bill Pullman is in this movie. There's so many weird special effects going on in this trailer that I'm just like, this is gonna be bad. You know what it reminded me of? Remember that really bad Battleship movie that came out a couple years ago?
Yeah.
That's what this trailer reminded me of. I'm like, this reminds me of that bad Battleship movie, and it is not needed. I'm sorry, Independence Day 2 is not needed. That said, Independence Day is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm going to go see it because I like Independence Day, but I think it's going to be bad.
Really?
I think this movie is going to be really bad.
I think I'm going to like it. I don't know. I mean, because it just kind of I don't know if it's, the sequel is necessary, but I think it's going to be interesting because it's you're going to be able to see what, I don't know. I mean, because it's going to be these aliens coming in full force at the Earth. So it's going to be a movie about all of the Earth kind of rising together to try to fight off this giant alien invasion that's coming that's even bigger than what was happening before. So it's going to be this, it might be really action-packed, but it's going to have to be a giant battle between the human race with this advanced technology that they got from the previous invaders and against this group of highly technologically advanced race of aliens. So
yeah,
I don't know, to me it's a cool concept because it's not the first time we've seen these people, so we kind of know these aliens, so we kind of know how to stop them now, but it's just the fact, are we going to be able to?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like,
I can see how it could end up being a bad movie if they don't do things correctly, and how you said they kind of killed off Will Smith's character just by having him die in a piloting accident. It's why wouldn't they? They could have probably tested that a little bit better than sending someone up to fly it, but
yeah. Okay, let me clarify. I don't know if this movie's going to be bad, but it's not going to be
it's probably not going to be as good as what the first one was.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Bigger, more special effects does not always mean better.
Right.
As we saw in Transformers. But I don't know. Cameron, what do you think about Independence Day?
See, I don't know. You guys are on a different wavelength than me. I don't like Independence Day at all. I think it's just a explosion fuck fest, and I don't really care. And I really don't care about anything that happens, and there's some dumb one-liners and stuff. I think the only good thing about the first Independence Day is Jeff Goldblum. That's seriously it. Nothing else about the movie is really that cool. I can't remember the actor's name who plays Data in Star Trek, but his character in the movie was a cool part in the movie. But I think this Independence Day movie just looks pretty dumb. Also, because I have no faith in Roland Emmerich, whatever. I think he's a terrible director, in my opinion, of course, but I don't think he's a very good director. And he was also the one person who brought us one of the worst adaptations of Japanese idea ever. And he brought us Godzilla in 1999. One of the worst movies ever made.
What are you talking about? Ferris Bueller totally made that movie worth watching.
It's a lot of fish. But I also think Independence Day Resurgence, just because it's been so long, it looks like what a lot of movies are going to do, or what a lot of movies have been doing lately, where if you take an old idea and bring it into the now, and you have all this CG available to you, then it looks like Independence Resurgence is going to be a CG fuckfest, and I really don't want to see that again. I'm tired of seeing an abundance of CG where it's like the only thing that's real in this scene right now is this actor. Everything else is CG water and wind. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I don't want to see it at all. I don't think it's going to be good, but who knows? Maybe it will be cool. Also, because the first Independence Day was like a tiny bit goofy at times, and Will Smith was one-liners and stuff.
I think that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then I don't know. This trailer though is kind of funny. So much time has passed now. This trailer makes it look like this Independence Day is going to be super serious, and there's no jokes this time. But who knows?
Yeah.
I guess without Will Smith in it, they might not be the goofy one-liners anymore.
I want to know how they're going to recreate the shock value of blowing up the White House in this movie. Because that moment in that movie was like, say what you will about that movie, but that was like pretty impactful in that movie.
Yeah, that was like never been seen before kind of thing.
Yeah. So like, what are you going to do to top that? That's what I want to know. What building are they going to blow up this time?
Every Capitol building in every country across the world.
They're just going to blow up Earth.
Yeah, pretty much. Every capital city will just get a giant missile sent at them.
Yeah.
I mean, because they can't just blow up the whole Earth yet, because then there's got to be some battle,
Yeah, and there's got to be a sequel.
Well, maybe.
So.
Depends on how well this sequel does.
And a couple spin-offs, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A TV show.
Yeah, a cartoon.
Yeah.
Kids cartoon with the aliens.
Yeah. This is going to be like Tom and Jerry. He's going to be the big alien cat guy chasing around the little human guy.
Oh, man. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap this up?
I'm just going to go down in order. I think Turtles, I want to see it. Star Trek, I really want to see that. X-Men, I'm really pumped for it, but for some reason I feel kind of eerie. Like I just feel like it might go down a different path, and it might not be the best path. But I don't know. It's hard to say right now. Independence Day, don't want to see it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Turtles, I want to see. Star Trek, I'm like, I'll see it eventually. X-Men, I'm the same as you. I'm like really excited for it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'm concerned just because of the past of this series. And then Independence Day, I'm intrigued, but in like a bad way. So like that's kind of how I feel about these movies.
Turtles, I mean, I'll see it when I see it, I guess. I still, like I said, I still have to see the first one of that. Star Trek, I do want to see. I will catch that one as soon as I can. X-Men, I'll have to catch up on the other ones first, but then I will want to see that one when it does come out. And then I'm excited for Independence Day. But I guess we'll find out more when that comes closer to actually being released, whether it'll be something I'll be looking forward to. But right now, I want to see it.
All right. Well, that does it for DNA Reacts. Catch all of our content on digitalnerdadvocates.com and the Digital Nerd Advocates Network on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment below. Until next time, we're out.
Bye.